Hello, everyone. Welcome to probably the last video on this 1350 Polar Lights Enterprise refit model that I've been working on here for uh, damn near a couple of years now, actually. Um, and what I'm saying is probably going to be the last video for a while is that this model actually is suffering from a few mishaps. And as well, I got a couple of smaller models that I'm trying to go ahead and get finished. I've been working on since almost before, well, yeah, before I started even working on this here. And also, as I said before, some mishaps. Some mishaps. There's some mishaps with this. There are some mishaps. I can't help but to say it, and these are serious mishaps that I'm gonna take time and go correct. Um, when I get finished with the others. And so I'm get finished with the 1400 Enterprise E and also the Kit Bash that I'm working on. Kit Bash is going along rather well. The Enterprise E, I have another video right alongside this one um, that's coming up, and it's going rather well. We're at the paint stage with that model, and new techniques for me, very old techniques for most of everybody alive. So, um, going forward, here's what's going on with my refit, and it's crying time. But we shall pan in my upstairs area here in the attic. I got set up here, but we've got the model right here. And as I go back along here, yes, you can see here, and the cells are dangling down. And, still just looking at it, it's like, well, fine. Prop them back up, you can push them back in there, glue them back. Well, that wasn't the issue. The problem came with glue joints. More specifically, these glue joints. And I know why, and it is my fault, but at the same time, this actually forces me to go back and correct the problems that I was having with this kit from the onset. Um, this model set up here in this attic all summer, and it is my belief that the heat uh, wore away on some of these joints here, right here, right here. And as you can see there, let's go in on right here. And you see there, it has started to crack, and I was taking it down because I was actually fixing to work on it. And I noticed, I'm like, what the devil is that? And it was actually cracked right there along both pylons, right there at the joint, and as well underneath the bottom of the saucer was starting to come loose right up around there. And it's like, I can't have that. So, um, the saucer actually, you can see here, I've got it all the way apart, all the way around there. Because what is forcing me to do is go back through and have to redo some wires. Because go redo my lighting. Pretty much, I'm gonna redo all the lighting inside of this model kit, except for save the nacelles. I'm probably gonna leave those alone, but I'm not sure quite yet because I did like the paint job that I've done on those nacelles. They were done all the way through, except for maybe, well, no, actually, I believe the nacelles were finished. I just had to go back through and scribe out the inside of these lines here in the interior warp grills. But I'm not mistaken, kind of looking at this, I believe the nacelles, yeah, I were done with those. Uh, so, but as well, like I said, it's still working. Everything still works. Turn it on, bam, everything's there. But as you can see there, as you're looking at these lights right here, you can see the problem I'm having. The power supply that I have running on this model right about now is a 9 volt, 2 amp power supply. Now, 2 amps doesn't sound like a lot, but my TOS that I had was a 9 volt, 1 amp, and it ran that just fine with the board. All the blinkies were not making my strip lighting go out. Now, I think what the problem is with these lights, these are double density lights that I was using up in here because I liked the color on it. It was more of a slightly yellowish tint, kind of make it look more like a room light, more like that light versus that light. Really is what it was. It was that light, which is more of a natural white versus the hyper white. And I was wanting to go more for that because that's more of what I would see on screen to my thinking versus the bright white that you would see. However, That being said, like I said, double density, and you got double density on every all seven, well, seven of these windows over here, where the over here I had just a 9 millimeter regular LED in that, and that wasn't causing any issues. Of course, that wasn't causing any issues. But then you've got the double density through here. You got double density all through here, talking long strips down the sides, down the spine right here that was illuminating inside of the shuttle bay. And all that. Then you got double densities inside in the cells, lighting the warp grills, and it was just, I'm guessing it's just too much and it's pulling. So every time you notice that the nav lights go off, the strobes blink, you got an issue with the lighting. So I'm going to go through, redo all that with my single density bright white LEDs. I'm going to go back through, do that, and as well, some of the spots that have gone out. I have two that have gone out. One is right here. That right there is just a backlight from the lighting that's inside of this model, and the other one, well, actually, right now it's kind of showing, but it's this one. It comes on oftentimes when I turn the model on, but then it goes out. So I'll go through and redo those. Um, and actually, right about now, the ship is in warp mode. And even those, this blinking, you see that. That is a problem. And yeah, it's cool up here. And that's kind of, another issue why they're kind of a little bit off. But, I just do not want to see that at all. And so this is forcing me to take this model apart, go back through, redo lights, and then put it back together and repaint some of the areas. And then, going alongside the Enterprise E that I'm doing, I'm starting to actually paint Aztecs on versus using decals. And I like the decals, and it was coming along rather well. As you've seen the last update that I did with using the decals. But I am looking more to start painting them on. I've always liked the thought of painting them on, mainly because then I can go back through, and if I want to touch the ship or wherever, I don't feel like I may accidentally have a mishap, or if I accidentally scrape something, I can't replace a decal. That was the issue with my um Nemesis Enterprise E that I did. I scraped part. One of them actually messed up, and I noticed, I'm looking. I'm like, I got this big white patch right there, and it's because the decal was gone. I had to kind of make one using something I found online, and it really just didn't work all that well and stuff. So painting on, if you mess it up by accidentally scratching it, you can go back and repaint it. So that's what we're looking to do, and just seeing that right there, it's just like that just hurts every time have a strobes blink, and looking for high amperage and everything and stuff, but I really don't feel like fooling with that and stuff. I know they're out there, um you know but it's still and then too, different things kind of going, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see here. Well, I was trying to look at uh see that light right there. Yeah, it is still on and stuff, so it's just not where it goes to line up to illuminate my where the pennant would go right there. So forgive with all this shaky camera movement, but actually looking at something. So let's turn that on here. Like I said, everything's still going, um, and everything's still cool. But uh, there we go. Impulse power. Those going, and deflector orange, deflect more of that peach color, which is actually the color I was more wanting to go for. I think just because I like it. So, there's my thought right there. Spotlights were all still working, everything still looks cool. I love that clover down underneath the bottom. That's still just epic. So, but anyway, that's what's going on with this model. I wanted to give you that update just so we see what was going on, let you know it is still, in operation, but we got some operations going on and stuff. Some of these lights actually too were going out. In the neck, I believe they actually just have shot down. It was old strand of lights I was using on this. Well, not so old, but those have gone out. And then this set right here had gone out too. That right there was a determining factor. After I saw that I was having cracks with it, it's like, it's gone. So um, there's pullback view, huh? Almost kind of like a almost like Star Trek Beyond right there. After the nacelles got popped off, when the crawl came attacking, when the crawl came crawling and stuff, and started ripping power off. So, but anyway, That's where we're at right now. And like I said, sad days, but you come back behind, you fix it, and you go on. This is the first time I've ever made this model, and I kind of do want to do it right, but I'm learning things too. So it's my great experiment. The Excelsior was Starfleet's great experiment. This is my great experiment. So I go forth, continue working on this and the other models that I'm working on. Those of you out there building models, keep building, and I know I certainly am. You guys have a great night, day, evening, morning, shower time, lunchtime, whenever you're watching this. Just have a good day. Thanks. Bye. Enterprise. Broken. But still lit. Mostly. Ouch. Bright spotlights.